All right, what's going on, everyone? It's Yami here, and we have to talk about Peloton and the S&P 500 here. Let's get into it. All right, so we're open up here. This is Peloton, ticker symbol PTON over here. And again, I covered this in yesterday's video on what happened here. They reported earnings. It went absolutely terribly. It looks like they are also not hiring any more workforce, is an article that just came out, which is not a good positive catalyst for this company. So I think it's going to bleed a little bit more, but I gotta tell you, it's looking like a juicy deal short term. And let me explain, because look, so I mean, obviously this like 30-40% drop happened, and that's obviously a really good deal in general, but you got to remember that Peloton as a company, I don't see it long term, unless it kind of the hype gets picked back up. But again, they're coming from a year of COVID and people staying at home. I don't know if that's going to happen again. I mean, that's probably the best it's ever been, right, for this company. And so I got to say, this 55 price right now that I'm seeing, it's looking juicy just for the short term, because if it just goes up to this previous resistance that I see, I mean, that's almost 50% returns. And again, I don't want to be in this long term, like probably like less than a month, but I got to tell you, it looks great. The problem is that this thing can drop more, right? So if we go to the day chart here, this is kind of big picture what's happening. It's right here, which hasn't been seen for a year and a half, which is crazy. But again, if it perhaps finds a support here, finds some recovery, and just goes back to this previous support where I see it, dropping here, and this is kind of the point where it went super bullish, that kind of deal. I think if it comes back to around $82, that 50% return looks really nice. It's just hard, you know what I mean? I'm conflicted. It's beckoning to me, but I don't know if I'm going to do it quite yet. I think I'm going to watch it for the next couple of days, and then I'll make a decision. Of course, with my luck tomorrow, this thing's going to pop up 30%, and I completely miss my chance. But it seems like right now, I kind of want to wait, see if it consolidates or if it drops more. If it does consolidate and shows signs of a reversal, great, then I'll get into it. So I think what I would do here is just wait for this kind of trigger. So I'd wait for right around $60. I think that is a safe one. Create an alert. If it goes above that, fantastic. Then you'll know, right? You'll get an alert. And okay, it looks like it's going to reverse back to previous resistance. Great. Then you just made a lot of money. All is good there. So that's kind of my target, is if it breaks above 60, I'll see about it. Right now, I'm going to wait because I think it still could bleed a couple more days, but keep your eye on it. I think it's a juicy offer. That being said, that's Peloton, which is the most exciting thing that happened today. Sadly, the market is, in my opinion, too good. It's not very fun anymore because everything's just blowing up, which is great if you're already in stocks. But if you're looking for stocks to get into, there's not a lot of good deals out there. Everything is kind of overblown. But I wanted to tell you about my deal today. I traded SPY today with my options. If you don't know about options trading with SPY, definitely check out my video. It'll pop up in a card right now. Click that video. It's really, really good info, and it tells you how I trade SPY. And I did the same exact thing I did before. I'm like, my system has not changed since that video. Go watch it. Basically, what happened here is that it went up. Again, what happens is it goes up immediately, that kind of thing. Usually you kind of see a quick sell-off and then go up. This time it just went up. And then right around 10 a.m. again, the drop happened. That 10 a.m. drop meta that I was telling you about the stock market in multiple videos now, that exactly happened here. 10 o'clock happens, and then that was the high of the day, and then just came crashing down. And I was watching it passively all day, and then this happened. So I was watching till here, and I was like, oh, maybe it'll come back. But then it just dropped like a rock all the way down to 466. And I couldn't not make the investment. I agree, overall, it is very much overbought over here. It's very scary, it's needing a drop. But I just thought this was too much of a drop. Like this didn't look super organic. So I thought it would definitely recover. Luckily it did. So what happened was I waited for this drop here, waited for the recovery, came back down here. I invested right here, right around there, dropped a little bit. And then, so what happened was I invested, I bought 3 contracts, nice and little position, 3 contracts here. And then I went for a 3-mile run. And then what happened when I was done with that 3-mile run, we were right here. And I made right around $160, which is, not a lot, but it is a great thing because I just put the money in, went for a run, I came back, sold. And so I made $160 with that position size there, which is great because it was almost a perfect trade. And I didn't even try that hard. Like clearly it dropped, showed signs of reversals, bought, left my computer, came back, made a lot of money, and then that was it. That was the day. Overall for the SPY though, this was a somewhat lucky day, I would say. I mean, the system is still there and it's, again, pretty easily recognizable what's going to happen. But overall, what's happening with the SPY, it is very overbought. Super overbought still. Like, it's coming back down to earth a little bit, but I think this thing could definitely correct itself downward. Maybe even hit the moving average 50 here, this line. If it does, that's great. That's what I want. I want this thing to correct itself. I want the market to fall a little bit. I think it is way too high. It's going way too crazy. I think we all need to calm down. And I think Tesla is kind of the leading proponent of that. And as you can see, it's also kind of cooling off. Hit highs yesterday pre-market, but other than that, it's kind of cooling off a little bit. People are kind of getting out of it slowly. So I think that's what's going to happen. Obviously, this thing can keep riding and then go from there. But I think overall, I think the market should be cooling off at this point, and then we're going to hit that inflection point downward. If it does, be ready. I'm not going to invest until it hits that line or until I feel like it's ready to go back up. And then when you do, buy those options, make sure your expirations are at least a week out, and enjoy the profits. It'll be nice and fun. That's all the updates I have today. Again, it was somewhat of a boring day, but that SPY drop was really dramatic and really fun for me. Hopefully you guys got some good trades in today. And again, above all else, stay frugal.